I gotta make this vid. Hopefully, it's a quick one. So January the 20th, 2017. I think it's the. I know it's. I don't know. I'm unsure about the date, but I know it's the inauguration day and whatnot. And I seen something on Facebook. I seen a Facebook live stream of a bunch of black women protesting the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, and they're out there chained together, making a wall, trying to disrupt, the proceedings of the inauguration as such. And it just infuriating me. I'm just shaking my head because I'm like, y'all are overplaying y'all hand tremendously. And I've been in the workforce for a little over a decade and a half now, and I've worked a variety of jobs with a diverse demographic of peoples. I've worked jobs where it was all men, worked jobs where it was just mostly women, and it was just me and a couple other gentlemen who worked there. And I've worked jobs where it was 50-50 on the percentage of male female ratio. And I've always been somewhat of a social scientist of a sense. And you can sit back and to any black man who has observed this, or any man in particular who has observed this, and I'm pretty sure that the white gentlemen are astute enough to have noticed this. But at these certain workplace environments, you will have these strong and independent, finger snapping, neck rolling, Shanae and Kilolo type of sisters, You want some, but you can't get none. See, cause you get my drift. You have these sisters, and they will completely go balls deep on a black man when it comes. All right, let me give you for instance, and fellas, white, black, Latino, Asian, please let me know if you've seen this at your job. It'll be a black female subordinate, right? And there'll be a black male supervisor. The black male supervisor asks the black female subordinate to perform a certain task, right? This black female subordinate or employee, whatever you want to use, turns around and then just begins to put up the biggest wall of resistance to this man's authority. This man's authority is established, not is backed up and reinforced by the establishment, which is the company. So when he exercises his authority has some credence behind it. She will, if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. She will buck and rebel and completely try to discredit that black supervisor's authority. You've seen it, the lip smacking, neck rolling, eye rolling, finger snapping. You've seen it. Then shortly after that, you will see a white supervisor who has the same amount of authority as that black supervisor approach that same black female employee. He will ask her to perform the same task, the exact same task, and that black female employee will fall in line like that. Because the dirty little secret is the black female knows that she can challenge the black male's authority, even if the black male authority is validated by whatever power structure that he's serving. But she knows that she cannot, under any circumstances, challenge the authority of the white male who may be valid, whom's authority may be validated and established by the same institution that they are all serving. She can't buck that white man on that. And with these antics at the inauguration that I see, as I see black women overplaying their hand. See, they know. See, white men know, and they allow black women to run amok and exercise all of their degenerate behavior and bullshit as it pertains to the black man. They say, oh, you know, you want to cuss him out and roll your eyes and snap your fingers and whatnot, you can do that. You want to go upside his head and physically assault him and then call the police and then use the police force as your goon squad, you can do that as well. You can drag him into court and run him through the ringer with all sorts of child support ting. You can do that. You can buck his authority freely all you want, but if you bring that shit over here, we will deal with you harshly and swiftly. And black females know this, and it's been a silent agreement between white men of authority and black females. It has been a silent agreement between the two parties. But what I see here today with this inauguration via antics is that the black female is definitely overplaying her hand, and I want to predict. I predict that if the power structure, or the government or the state, whatever you want to call it, if they dispatch the National Guard and the police force and other arms of law enforcement, people who maintain order and whatnot, if they dispatch those, that conglomerate against, this cohort of black females who are protesting the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, and they handle these black females with a heavy hand, these same black females will turn around and run to black men and say, y'all niggas ain't shit because y'all are protecting us. Y'all not protecting us, I mean. And it goes back to the analogy that I used about, prehistoric man and woman. If human beings existed on this planet simultaneously with dinosaurs, let's say, humans would have to seek refuge in a cave, right? A cave where the entrance was small enough to where a Tyrannosaurus Rex couldn't come in there and devour the whole family. And it's a one way in, one way out type of entrance. So if, let's say, a smaller predatory dinosaur entered, like a velociraptor, they could see them easily. They wouldn't, be ambushed by a cohort of velociraptors, or a mob of them, or whatever. But the way the black female today is, she would go outside of that cave and frolic about, even while the man is beseeching her to stay put. She'll just go out and be like, frolic about, la da 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 da. And when she gets mauled by a pack of velociraptors or devoured by Tyrannosaurus Rex, will then turn around and say, y'all niggas ain't shit. Y'all ain't protect me. And the men are saying, come on. We told you to stay in the cave. We told you that staying in this cave and making this cave our home base is the safest, safest way to go about this. Just completely overplaying their hand. It's like, for all my spades players out there, it's like if you got one in a possible or two in a possible, you do not bid that you have 6 or 7 books. If you have one in a possible and your partner has 2 in a possible, you go board. The only way you can bid down is if you actually have the books. Now, if you got 6 or 7 books in your hand, you can say, "Oh, I ain't got it." You know, we gonna go board to try to trick your opponents to believe that they have that they have the juice, that they got more books than they actually have, to where you can set an ambush and a trap to where you can possibly set them. But what I see is I see black women, they know good and goddamn well they only got 2 books in their raggedy ass hand, but they want to sit up here and bid a 10 hand. Like, no, you can't. You're gonna get mollywopped. You're gonna get set. You need to be realistic. It's like black women who are single mothers and they just swear that they are the shit, that they are just the most ideal choice of woman to be selected. I'm like, you can't believe that. I don't believe it, and I have a a very keen suspicion that you don't even believe that bullshit. But y'all watch. Let them folk bring out water hoses and tear gas and bean bags on those black women who are chained together trying to disrupt the process of the presidential inauguration. They are intentionally trying to be an impediment to the power structure and the infrastructure. Let them folk come out with them water hoses and billy clubs and bean bags and tear gas and pepper spray. Watch. Oh, y'all niggas ain't protecting us. Should have stayed your ass at the house. It's stupid to me, man. It's kind of like, black women kind of are like, well, I'm gonna go outside. Even they're the type to go outside during a monsoon and say, I don't want to get wet. Well, you should have stayed your ass in the house.